أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Say, He is Allah who is one, Allah the eternal refugee. He neither begets nor is born, nor is there to him any equivalent. Sadaqallahul Azim.
Hello everyone. So welcome everyone to the 12th meetup of this year of techshek. My name is Akash and with Qasim I'm going to be your host today. So this year has been rough on everyone and as we progress throughout the years, people's productivities have gone up and down. Me and Qasim, we have been facing the same. And one day we sat down to discuss all of the productivity tips and hacks that we can use to improve our productivity to pre pandemic levels and maybe even go beyond. So we thought instead of sharing this knowledge just among us, why not create this the topic for the next meetup and share it with everyone? So we have done the same today, and now we'll be taking a few talks on how we can improve our productivity and even move beyond. So first up, we have Akash Nainani, our first speaker who's from India. He's going to talk about productivity hacks. Productivity hacks. So Akash, go ahead.
Yeah, just as gonna share the screen. Yep. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Akash Nainani, and I'm a software engineer from Pune, India. You can check out my website at akashnainani.dev. And to speak about myself, I'm a backend engineer, so I mainly work with designing backend stuff. And I'll be sharing my experience of how I maintain my productivity level and how it has been impacted after COVID. So I won't agree with Akash Joshi's comment on productivity being decreased since pandemic. Like at least for me, it has been very inconsistent. As you know, due to pandemic, we have at home and we have more time in our hands. So with that more time, what has happened is there were days where I was getting work done, doing my mini projects and stuff like that. While on other days it would just be a drag, and I was just moving ahead with the day without actually doing anything. So for me, there are a number of definitions out there for productivity. They talk about how productivity is the work that you're getting done within a period of time and all that. From being well, being a software engineer and solving problems on a daily day, I would put it like completing important tasks on a prescribed time. So if I'm able to do my task within that time period, I will call myself productive, and I would say that that day went well. So post pandemic, what I would say is for the initial few months, I was actually struggling a lot because more time in hand, I was able to achieve more, and all the things that I wanted to do, I was able to do them. But then what happened was I was not happy with it. So I was doing things, I was completing tasks and all that. But at the end, what happened was I was not sure. Is it enough? Should I be doing? Should I do more? Or I am am I doing enough in a day? I'm able to complete all my tasks. Should I be doing more? Should I spend more time? How should I, plan my day to actually get through my work? And such questions keep on popping up. And then at eventual times when I compared myself, actually saw what I've achieved in retrospects, then I realized that okay, I have been productive this week. It was not that I was slacking off, but the feeling that was there in the whole week was that I'm not achieving what I can and all that, which really led to lack of satisfaction with what I was doing. Even though I was learning, I was building stuff, and whatever I wanted to achieve, I was actually achieving it in the week. So to start off with that, I started looking for tools out there, ways to actually help me track my productivity. Because one of the important things that you could do to actually know that you're enough, and with productivity level, the idea is you don't want to be extremely productivity at days, and then other days you would be doing nothing. So you don't want that. Some sort of balance between those two, where you are consistently working and then delivering. That helps in the longer run, where you won't reach a point that you're easily burning out. And the idea is, if you have worked for weeks and then you have achieved all the things, but which eventually leads to a burnout, spending weeks ahead, not being able to do things, well, that's counterproductive. So initially, I started out by using AnyDo. It's basically a note-taking and task platform. It's basically a to-do list with a calendar with it, and I started maintaining daily to-dos. Okay, I have to complete these XYZ tasks. I will put them every day in the morning in the to-do list, and just tick off every day. So it worked for a few days, but the idea with to-do list is you are marking tasks. You are not exactly being able to track them. Okay, you have completed them in certain particular time period. So it led me to explore more, search for articles. I read a couple of them and started thinking, "Okay, how can I actually maintain that?" So in software industry, normally when you have multiple tasks and when you are able to divide your work into smaller subtasks, a Kanban board comes in very handy. And it's a certain feature that you will find everywhere. One good tool that I use for my personal usage is Trello. It's completely free. I'll be giving a demo right now. So it's completely free. You can easily maintain your task. You create a personal board to actually keep myself divided, just to make sure that I'm working optimally, as well as at the same time I'm able to do what I wanted in my personal time and achieve those tasks too. So I maintained two boards. One was on my work laptop, where every morning when I logged in, I just moved through the task and checked what I'm gonna do today and what I've completed so far, just to get a satisfaction that okay, previous day I achieved 3 tasks, 4 tasks, which were very important to me, and I was able to deliver. And these are the priority ones that I can deliver today. So it was a every day. It's something that I do every day, and at the same time, in the evening, once my work is done, I also like to look at my own personal board to check if I have to write any article or prepare for something or work on some mini project that I left off few days back. So I keep the board handy. Just show you a quick demo. So this is a small Trello board that I've created. So luckily with Trello, the idea is that you can add people to the board, and you can actually share what you're doing. So you can work collaboratively. But the idea is you create these lists. So I have created 3 lists: to do, doing, and done. If you are someone who is doing some research on the side or something like that, you could add more slides. Actually, I've created 2 to 3 boards for me. One is when I'm actually researching a particular topic, and the others are what skills that I'm developing actively. So I maintain them separately and I update them on my own time. So in to dos, normally I just keep on adding. I spend a minute or so every day just to add that what do I need to do. So maybe currently I'm giving a talk. Maybe today I have to learn a new language. So you put something up, and then you can maintain this information, and then you can slowly move the board ahead. You can add labels, and there are a bunch of customizations that you can do. So you can add labels that okay, tasks. So and you can assign various colors to them. Okay, green means that you are actually working on a learning task, or you could make it as a priority. For my work board, I use it as a priority board, priority task. Okay, red is high priority, while green is something that I can actually procrastinate and maybe pick on in a few days or so. So, yep, I am moving these stars, I'm maintaining them. But the whole reason of actually doing this is to retrospect every day or every week, seeing that what I've achieved in the done tab, just to reflect back, thinking, okay, I was able to complete these 40 tasks, 50 tasks. I had a productive week. And the second point to this is, on other days where you're not productive, you could actually have a look at this to do tab and know, okay, I have to pick up now to actually get this done. But one thing that I would say was missing in these two things was the retrospective part that I talked about, which was kind of getting difficult to maintain what I have done every single day. So I started looking for diaries, and I found this great product in Product Hunt called as Grid Diary, which was actively being developed. And well, it changed how I actually reflected my retrospect and thought how productive I am. So Grid Diary has an app for Mac. It has an app for Android and iOS. I normally use the Android version. The sync is off because sync requires a paid version. But the idea is, you create a grid. You create a grid with a number of tabs you want. There is an add button, and you can add more grids. And each day, you fill up this grid half part in the morning and the rest in the evening or at the night when you are actually going to bed. So few things that I normally do is, okay, instead of maintaining a separate to-do list in AnyDo, I have started writing my to-do task in today's to-dos. Then what work have I done? So it's a retrospective thing. So at night I would write, okay, I have completed these many things in the day, and I can reflect back in the future. Okay, these were the days that I can call actually productive. So what did I learn? So being an engineer, one thing is active learning. If you're not learning every day, you're missing out. So I like to note down, okay, these are the new concepts that I've learned. And being working all the time, what happens is, when you're learning, you don't realize that you have learned these things, and it becomes difficult for the brain to actually retain. So these are certain things that I maintain in my what did I learn today. And this is some hopeful thinking and to cheer me up. What am I grateful for? So for the day, I just like to write some things. And another thing that I like to maintain is hobbies. So um, for personal time, with post COVID, we have more time, and the idea is, it's not all work. You need to develop some side skill, or you would like to generate a habit that you would like. So you can create a certain habit tabs and then save it as a template. So the idea is, you can click over here, you can add a grid element, and let's say you have certain task written, and you mention it, like you write few skills that you would like to go walking every day. Okay, so now you would like this particular task to be shown in all the pages. You could pretty much do it by a single click. You just have to click on this grid icon and click as save as template, and save and apply. So what this will do is, it will add those in all the pages, and now you can every day look at your habits and just verify, okay, these are the habits that you would like to do, and have you done it today or not, by marking over here. So with these, my aim was to boost my productivity, make bring some consistency in, and at the same time know what I'm doing, and be grateful for it. So thank you. Any questions?
Okay, I thought there would be some questions, but if they are not there, I have one question which is haunting
Qasim
me.
bhai, I've got one question.
Okay, Tahir.
Okay, okay. Akash, hello, Tahir here.
Hey,
Okay, there are some tasks we are more passionate about, and there are some tasks we are less passionate about.
yep.
So obviously, productivity would vary depending on,
It's about your priorities.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a flaw?
It's a
Do you think it's a flaw? Like, do you think it as a problem?
uh so it's like you have two types of tasks. One is that those are important to you, that you do because you're passionate about, and second are something that you need to get it done. So if you are retrospecting every day, you will realize that these tasks that are important to you, and the other tasks that you have to get it done, and you are avoiding it. With this way, what will happen is those tasks will keep on popping up in front of you, and eventually you would like to get it done. So it's rather by having a metrics present, you are forcing yourself, you're pushing yourself to get those things moving.
I see. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thanks for the answer.
Okay, do you have any kind of boring tasks in your everyday task list, or no boring tasks?
Every day I have boring tasks. There are personal things that needs to be get done. I even write things like I have to get something from down. I have to get get things done for home and all that. Even add those because I know, because in the whole task list now they will vanish away and I would never do them. Just procrastinate. So with this way, at least it's motivating me. Okay, I can't keep it for weeks over here.
Exactly. Uh, I
Qasim,
think.
I have a question.
Yes, Anna, you have a question.
So I wanted to ask, what exactly do you do when you feel burnt out or tired? What are the kind of activities that you do to recharge yourself?
Okay, so couple of things on front. So one thing is YouTube, watching bunch of random YouTube videos, and the idea is you can procrastinate and then be burnt out for weeks. That's a real fact, and that has happened to me many times. So what I do is I try to create a balance. One is retrospect a lot. So as I said, I look at these boards every day. So I push myself. Okay, I'll give a time critic for the 3 to 4 hours. I won't be doing anything, and then I'll look at my board, and I'm not sure if maybe someone will talk about Pomodoro, but the idea is I assign some time for a particular task. Okay, this is a task, and I have to get it done anyhow in the next 1 hour, and I won't think about anything else. So with that in mind, I will, my mind will clear out to you. Okay, I have allocated 1 hour for this task, and I'm not gonna think of okay, I'm burned out, I'm tired, and I won't think about anything. I just get this done in this period and forget about it. So with that, as start things start moving again, you would realize okay, you are starting to come out of this whole burnout period, and you will be back in no time.
Okay, great.
Oh, okay, you have one question in the chat box. How do you handle your downtime?
Similar thing. uh, so do something random. Recently, what I've started to do is start walking. So due to the whole pandemic thing, I completely skipped the whole exercise part. So now that I've realized it's very important, so I've brought it back, and I like to spend 30 to 40 minutes listening to song and walking around. So that does help to clear up mind from your day-to-day tasks. You might be a software engineer, something like that. You would be working with same things for weeks. So that does help.
Okay, okay, friends. If we have any other question, you should ask now because I am moving to next speaker. Then, okay.
Do you ever feel regret when you're not working and you're not being productive? And how do you cope with it?
Every 4 weeks or 5 weeks. Regret is
Exactly.
part of our life.
Hmm.
You regret okay, if I would have worked in the past few days, maybe a bit more, I wouldn't have to do something in the weekend or something like that. So that's why I adopted this very metrics driven technique. Okay, I won't keep it to the chance or keep it in my mind. Okay, I have to do this. I just put it out there and keep my mind empty. I will just look at the board and just whatever is there, I will do that. I won't think okay, I have to do this, that. No need. Just look at the board and get those things done. Clear out my mind from these maintaining of task workload.
Okay. Thank you, Sana. As Sana is my partner, I've been telling her to write my everyday progress down. So she's my sister, she's my cousin. So that's why she's a medical student. Thank you, Sana, for these questions, and thank you, Akash bhai, for giving this amazing presentation. It is useful for all that, and it is useful for me. And I am going to write down all the things which you have told me, and I will try to start walking, watch YouTube, and not have any regrets. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Okay, so next we are going to have Prabhanjan. Prabhanjan is going to give us productivity tips again, because that's the topic of today's event, and he will show us that what all things we can do through computers, because the computers are basically apps which are built on some code, and where this code is written in the old age, we used to write it on command line. So he is going to tell us how we can use command line to make better use of the computers we interact with every day. So Prabhanjan, you can share your screen and start your talk.
Yes, yes, sure.
Okay, great.
All right. Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you good. We can see your screen.
All right. Excellent. So, hello everyone. Myself Prabhanjan, and I'm a full stack Node.js and Rust developer from Pune, India. You can find me on GitHub with the GitHub or Telegram with the same username that I mentioned in the slides. And I welcome you all to this session on Tool productivity. In this session, we will be going to take a look at how to how to be productive with the work that you are doing while being inside in the same like a tool. Okay, without so for me personally, productivity is something like in shortest period of time how much work you can get done. Okay, and this is what we are going to take a look at today. This talk is definitely not developer centric. The tools I'll be explaining are equally useful for everyone. They are not just for developers, but generally it just happened that developers tend to use these tools more often. But again, let me restate this again, that Git, Emacs, or anything else that I mentioned in this talk, they are totally for everyone. No matter if you are a chartered accountant or a lawyer, everyone uses a computer. And believe me, once you start using these tools, they will make your life so much easier. So for this talk, we'll try to we'll try to do all the things that I'm going to demonstrate today without moving our hands from the keyboard. Okay, and like my hands will be on my first 60% of the keyboard only, and that is how. Of course, for pointing stuff and out, I'll be touching pointer only. But for to execute the tasks and commands, I'll try to stick to the keyboard only, and just with the help of you'll see that just with the help of a few keystrokes, what things that I can achieve and so on. Okay, so before starting, we need to know about two tools. First one is a Emacs. For developers, they must know what Emacs is. For those who don't know, Emacs is a text editor. Okay, you can edit text just like Notepad or any Notepad plus plus any other tool that anyone knows, or even VS Code for developers. But jokingly, Emacs is known as a great operating system lacking only a decent editor. Of course, these are just like funny comments, but even even famous author Neil Stephenson calls it a thermonuclear word processor. Now you'll know why these statement, why people talk like these, say these things about Emacs soon. But overall, it's a very feature-rich text editor, customizable down to its code. You can change anything in it you want, and you have all the freedom to do so. Okay. Next thing you need to know is Vim. Vim is an old text editor. It's actually a decent text editor, but it's a CLI based. The feature it's like the problem with Vim is it's a developer centric tool. Like it's good, but only for developers. As a author or as a writer or as a like taking notes, it's not that helpful for day-to-day tasks. So that's why developer tends to use Vim more often than Emacs. Okay, and this is where the topic of this session comes into the picture. So, if like these two great two tools we have, the question will come to in your mind that which one we should use, and the answer is the EVIL. EVIL stands for Extensible VR Layer. Okay, it's nothing but Emacs, but with the Vim key bindings. It allows you to use Vim, but like inside Emacs, just in simple terms. Okay, nothing magical. When you install this tool, with the tool's name is of course Doom Emacs, which was the title of the PPT. And when you install it, by default it comes with 100 plus default layers. Now, what is a layer? Layer is nothing but a plugin or an extension that changes the way you handle your text editors. These layers are dedicated for a single task only. Let's say, and these layers are like the features that I have mentioned below are not exactly layers of the Doom Emacs, but Doom will enable these out of the box for you and with the same default, so you don't have to configure everything manually. The layers include, of course, we'll be looking at these soon in 5 minutes. The layers include calculator, calendar. If you want to like communicate with social network, then you have Twitter or Slack. If you want to open and check, read your mail, want to reply, you can do that within Emacs. If you want to write your code, of course, that is also possible. If you want to write a novel and like maintain or even maintain your daily to-dos or anything else that we saw in previous session, you can also do that. So overall, uh, everything that you will do is possible while being inside in a same window. You don't have to leave Emacs to do anything that you want, and this is what it makes an operating system that I talked about. Okay, and of course, so before like I'll just directly jump to the hands-on session and how it looks and so on. For developers, you'll this is how my setup looks like currently. This is uh, some Nginx project that I was working on in Madras. But again, this is not real. The tooling is not related around revolve around the developers at all. If you are a non-developer, you can definitely use it, and you'll notice that it certainly doesn't look like a some like old 1990s text editor at all. It is almost equivalent to the VS Code that I used to use daily. Okay, you get a shell where you can run any commands you want. You get a directory with the mouse support, directory listing with the mouse support, and everything else. And if you want to just like close anything at all, you can just press one key shortcut, and it will be gone. Like okay, like so I want to close the terminal. Uh, and so on. Okay. Overall, the point is you don't have to move your hand away from your keyboard to do anything at all. You can just be inside your text editor and do all the tasks you want. So for the first session of the demo, I'll show some non-developer centric tools, and the later part I'll try to for developers, I'll try to elaborate how I manage my Git with this. Of course, there are like 100 plus. If you see my Doom Emacs, the status bar, there were like 200 plus plugins loaded, and it's not possible to explain all. So I'll just elaborate two or three. So first thing that I wanted to show you that my keyboard sorry, calculator mode. So Emacs has these modes. If you want to go to some different way of managing your tools, you switch the mode. So for now, let me just zoom in the font. For now, this is just an example. I'll show you. First, I'll introduce you with the calc mode. If I go to calc mode, at the bottom window, my calculator will open up, and it's just not your simple calculator at all. Okay, it's just not like your one plus two thing. It's much more than that. You can do scientific calculation here, you can do financial calculation here, you can do like anything, trigonometric function, everything is available here with just one or two keystrokes. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say if you want to calculate sine of 10, what you'll do is you'll just push 10 to the stack and press S. That's it. You have sine of 10. That, and believe me or not, everything that you want is available in this mode at just one keystroke. One other example that I like, let's say if you want to calculate log of 20, what I'll do is just type 20, press L, that is log of 20. Okay, to give you some uh, like real life example, like how for financial, how you can use the calculator mode. Imagine you want to this is just an example, of course, but imagine if you want to calculate EMI on the amount of $500,000 or rupees, anything, at the in 30 installments at the rate of 5%. Okay, so if you want to calculate how many EMIs I'll pay in this in this like digits. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just jump to my calculator mode. I'll calculate first, like how much interest I'll pay per month, like 5% divided by 12, that is 4.16%. Then I'll tell calculator mode that I have 30 installments. Then I'll tell calculator mode that I have my amount is 500,000. Okay, and so far we have just entered the digits, and I'll just press B and M. There you go. Your EMI is $17,000. And now again, the productivity part here is you have calculated everything else without moving your hands from keyboard, but now you'll say that how will I copy this without mouse? You can, like in any other tool, you move your mouse here, select, copy, here, go here and paste. No? Okay, we don't do that in Emacs. What we'll do is press Control X, then star, then Y, and you can see that amount is stored, like it got yanked, it got copied into my buffer. So yeah, of course there is lots of things to talk about here. I can't spend like much time on everything else. I'll encourage you to go and look at it. Another thing I wanted to talk about is calendar mode. You can not only just check, I guess Amolith will talk about it more, but I'll just give a brief that how it looks like for me. You can manage your to-dos tasks here, check holidays with just one keystroke. To give you another like general purpose, sorry, the general example that how Emacs helps you with calendar. Let's say imagine you want to calculate how many days are in between 2 to 23rd of November. Okay, I'll, without moving my mouse hand from my keyboard, again I'll just press Shift Control Space here, go to 23rd, and press Alt equal. Okay, and Emacs will tell me that region has 22 days. So that means 2 to 23 are 22 days. Of course, I mean, this is just an example that how we'll use uh, how we can use calendar mode. There are in this mode as well, there are too many things to check. So I'll, without, because of the time limit, I'll move to something else. So next thing I wanted to talk about is for usually, like I said, the Git tool is usually for developers, but definitely it's not just no restricted to developers at all. No matter who you are, what your profession is, uh, it is, Git will definitely help you, trust me. Okay, and so I'll encourage you to read about Git as well, and how it can help you in your own profession. But for developers, how we manage Git tooling is whenever we have some change uh, in your code, you go to your terminal and check here Git. Uh, you check your git status, then see that some files are changed, then see go to your terminal, check which files are changed, then you want to add it in your staged area, then you commit it, and so on. But with that's not how we do with Emacs. I'll show you how to do it with Emacs. What you do is you just go into Git mode now. For calculator, we had calculator mode. For calendar, we had calendar mode. Similarly, for Git, we have Git mode. Okay, it's called as Magit or Magit mode. It depends on how you pronounce it. But overall, here you'll see everything that is related to your Git repository, and you'll see that how you can manage everything with just one or two keystrokes at max. Okay, like you can see that you have two untracked files here, you have two unstaged file here, you have one staged file here, and if I press tab on any of these headers, it will collapse and expand. Okay, and if I move down, it shows my recent commits. There are these many commits. Now, if you want to see in the, let's say, in untracked files, what thing is changed, you can again go there. No, not in untracked files. In staged files, you can go in unstaged files. You can press tab on them to see what thing is changed there. Okay, now here I say that I have added one more line. I can again collapse it in my main.rs file. I have added one more line. If you want to just move one file into staged area, you'll just move to the file and press S. Okay, and it was moved to stage area. If you want to unstage it, press U, and it was moved to unstaged changes area. If I press tab on that file again, I see that I was trying to add 3 lines, and out of those, 2 were in the staged area and one was in unstaged area. How I managed to do that? So imagine you at the time of staging, you realize that, oh, I made a mistake and I don't want the middle line to be added in the staged area before commit. With your normal workflow, what you will do as a developer is you'll go to your text editor, remove that line, come back to your shell, then check your if with git diff that if you have added the correct information and all. But with the help of Magit, what you can just do is press Shift V here, press X, and at the bottom it will ask me to, if I want to discard the region, I'll press Y, and it has added uh, it has discarded that one line from my unstaged eight changes, and I can just now press S to move it to stage. And if I check the diff, okay, it's gone from the stage. And if I want to commit this file without again moving my hand, I'll press C, and it's asking me to what I want to do. I want to again make one more commit, so I'll press C one more time. It will ask me my commit message. I'll say fit and adding something. Okay, message of course is doesn't matter. And after done, I'll press Control C, Control C. That's it. This commit is being done, and so far we have just made 3 keystrokes. We did not, apart from of course writing our message. Apart from that, we just press S to make it stage, and press C to open the commit message, and press C again to commit it. That's all. But imagine how will you do it in uh, how will do it you'll do it in your regular workflow. And yeah, so that's the like general overview of Magit. Like I said, these tools are totally not related to developer. If you start using them, you start noticing the productivity increase, because increase in your like daily workflows. Because with Git you can manage as an example, as a chartered accountant, you can manage your like docs or um, what do you call it, anything at all, like anything that you want, as long as it's like something uh, documentation doc based, you can keep track of it with Git. You can edit it however you want with Emacs, and it will make your like workflow a lot more easier. So that's it for all for today. That's because of the time limits. I wanted to of course like take a few more topics. There are so many good things in Emacs. But that's all for today from my side. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhanjan. You have some questions in the chat box. Can you open them?
Let me see. What OS? The first question is, what OS are you using and how long it take for you to reach here? Since I'm a beginner, that's an excellent question. I'm on Linux main. It's just Ubuntu, just with like different repositories. So if you want to start, use use Ubuntu, so that's totally fine. Emacs works on Windows, Emacs works on Mac OS. It also works on Linux or any OS you are using. That's at all. That's totally fine. And for the how long did I take to reach here? I have started with Emacs just 1 month ago, and I also like disagree with Akash, like Akash Nainani said, because quarantine has not decreased my productivity. Because I started with Emacs, it has almost doubled, or if not make kept sense same, but it has almost made my productivity double with the Emacs, and it's been just 1 month to learn all these feature in Emacs. There is another joke that you'll at least need like at 10 or 13 years, but believe me, it's not that hard. Once you get used to these keystrokes, in the whole session, you observe that my hand did not move away from my first half of the keyboard. So once you get used to these keyboard bindings, like your life just becomes a lot easier. Okay. Okay, next question is, why not? Sharshil, I hope I answered your question. Why not? You can use Bitbucket. It is also free and give you good graphics interface. Bitbucket is a hosting site. Git is Majid solves your local Git interface problem. With the help of terminal, let's say I move to some repositories. Uh, if like as a developer, when I run these commands, anything okay, log one line, sorry. So these are the commands that Majid is trying to solve. These commands, you don't have to type any command at all. With just one keystroke, you get everything that you wanted. Bitbucket is just hosting tool. Uh, Graphical interface all much easier, definitely, but this talk was about productivity, so that's why I wanted to show you that. Like they make they make handling of the tools easy, but do they make your life productive? When you see that if in like let's say a desktop application of Git, you'll have to move your mouse from here to here for some another button. At that time, you can press three buttons on your keyboard. Of course, that's like some like micro benchmark thing. You don't measure your life in microseconds at all. But for me personally, it is definitely keyboard is a lot more productive. Trust me, no matter as a developer or as any or even an author. Even I mentioned Neil Stephenson called Emacs as a thermonuclear word processor, and there is a reason for that. Neil Stephenson is an author. He is not a developer at all. He writes his novels in Emacs. You can read about it more if you want after the session, of course. But there is a reason for why he is been using Emacs for writing all of his novels. Because and not he's not using any graphical interface at all. So yeah, they make your life maybe easier, but productive. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Okay, Prabhanjan, I have one question. It is related to productivity and it is related to Emacs. That is, how do you save yourself from social media noise? Facebook, Twitter, YouTube notifications. Does Emacs help in any way, which VS Code does not?
Uh, so Emacs, imagine you have enabled, let's say Twitter mode. You will, if you have Twitter mode enabled, Twitter mode, as in you'll get Twitter notification when inside Emacs. You can, of course, like I said, Emacs is configurable down to its core, not just any user interface, not just font or text size or anything else. You can change literally anything down to its core, however you want. So it's just matter of learning how you want it to be changed. If you want in that mode, in Twitter mode, if you want that some notification should not ring between my 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. where I work, you can totally configure it. It's just upon you how you like how much time you take to learn those things and like dig into documentation, dig into source code, and change these things. Of course, these things are made by plugin authors available for you in just one keystroke. But if it's not, then you can change it however you want. For like for the browser's notification, I'll say I just keep my browser closed and I don't have anything. If you see running, there is my just one tool called Flameshot for taking screenshot. I don't keep. I usually try not to keep my tools like where I'm active, like IRC, Matrix, or Telegram. I try to keep those things closed so they don't distract me from my workflow.
Okay, great. So, thank you, Prabhanjan brothers. I just wanted to make it clear that there are my friends who are non-developers also sitting here. I want to tell them that we are trying to sit in the shoes of people who build computers. That way, we can save ourselves from the today's distractions. Facebook is today's platform. It did not happen 10 years back. So we have to sit in those shoes so that we can stay productive. So Prabhanjan, it was so helpful. Like we can use calendar, we can use calculus, we can do all these things without using the mouse, which is also a modern age technology. We have to sit in the old era. So yeah, so this is a wonderful talk. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And we will be having a quick session in the conclusion as well. So I will conclude this talk here and move on to the next talk. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you. So next we are having it is Amolith. Amolith is from USA. Uh, he came across a Pakistani university in his talk while we were rehearsing, and it's the same university which I have been through, Nust University. And he's going to mention it in his talk, and he's going to tell us one more mode which we can use in Emacs to stay more organized. It will be helping us in research-oriented fields, like we all are students and we all want to make some documents cleaner. How we can use Emacs to make them cleaner, Amolith is going to tell us.
All right. As he mentioned, I am Amolith, and I'm going to be talking about org mode today, which is your life in plain text. By way of a further introduction, I am a university student, a systems administrator, and I founded a nonprofit organization called NixNet. And as you can see on the map here, I am in southeastern US, and my personal website is secluded.site if you need to reach out to me for anything at any time. So org mode is an Emacs package. As Prabhanjan mentioned earlier, it's like an add-on to VS Code or a plugin or browser extension, that kind of thing. It is an outliner, a document preparation system, a hierarchical note-taking tool, as well as a general organization and productivity suite. Now, I realize that those are big claims, but org mode really does deliver on them. And we're going to look at that in this demonstration. One of the things Prabhanjan mentioned a minute ago was never taking your hands away from the keyboard. And Emacs in general really delivers on that, but org mode especially so. For example, these headings up here can be created by simply typing an asterisk followed by a space, and then you have a top level header. For a second level header, you have two asterisks followed by a space, and then three asterisks followed by a space, you have a third level header. and then, back to a single asterisk for a second top level header. But typing those asterisks and pressing enter and space individually, those take too long. So of course Emacs has a binding for it, and you can use it by holding the Alt key and pressing enter. It automatically creates a new header at the level you were previously at. So I was on the second level header, I pressed Alt enter, I get another second level header. So we'll call this one the second level header. And then the same for the third level header, and so on. But one of the other really nice things about Emacs, I mentioned it's an outliner. So it has amazing support for reorganizing some things and hiding distracting content that you might not want to view all at one time. So I will add some sample text here that is just random and nonsensical gibberish. But maybe we don't want to see that when we're down here looking at the content in our second third level header. So we go up to the first one and press tab to hide it. But maybe we're up here working in this header and we don't want to see anything down here. We press tab on it. Maybe we don't want to see anything in this header. We press tab on it. And all of that content is hidden, so we can focus on what's important in that moment. And that's what I was using up here for all of these headers. You just press tab to expand and collapse them. So let's rename this to headers. It shows a bit about formatting headers. And jump down here to another one and talk about basic text formatting. In a word processor, normally you would have to type whatever text you want. Maybe you want bold text. And then you have to use your mouse, find the button, click it, type what you want, click the button again. That's too much work. No one has time for that. In org mode, all you do is surround the text you want to be bold with asterisks, and it becomes bold. And then for italics, all we do is surround the text with forward slashes. Same for strike through, you use pluses. For underlines, you use an underscore. For inline code, you use equal signs. And those are the very basics of text formatting. And now we'll go into lists. Now, org mode has absolutely fantastic support for lists. It's amazing. So you can, of course, use dashes to start a bulleted list, and then press Alt, Enter to create another list, or to create another item at the same level. We'll call this one, if I can type, we'll call this one bullet 2. And then maybe a bullet, again, if I can type. And then we'll call this one bullet 3. Press Alt, Enter again at the end of the line. And then we can press Alt, right arrow key to increase the level. So this would be a sub-bullet. And then we can do the same thing to create another sub-bullet. Now I'm doing all of these for a reason. As I said, org mode has amazing support for lists and outlining in general, so you can reorder them by pressing Alt, pressing the up or down arrow keys, and moving this third bullet up or down anywhere in the list. And then you can also expand and collapse within the same list. So we're not just moving the single bullet, we're also moving the content within it. And we'll move this one back down here. And again, going further than just plain lists, we can also do checkboxes if we have maybe some tasks we want to do. And this can be created with Alt-Shift-Enter. You see we have this new checkbox here with the square brackets. And this could, for example, be a major task. with subtasks. And I'm just going to put some additional context in here, maybe describing what the task is and what needs to be done. Once we complete this task, we can press Control-C, Control-C to mark it as complete. And you'll notice that the major task up at the top now has a dash in it, indicating that this major task is in progress. And once we complete the second task, the second subtask, by pressing Control-C, Control-C, that major task is finished. So now we can hide it, because we don't need to see the additional context. So that's lists. But now I'll show an example document where I use a lot of these features. And this was where I actually wrote this on Monday, I think it was, last Monday. And it was a formal research paper for my statistics course on the effects of COVID-19 on student morale and grades. We have let me expand this a little bit so you can see it better. We have an introduction, we have a summary of prior research, and this is where Qasim mentioned NUST, the National University of Sciences and Technology. But we also have code blocks within our document. So my statistics course is studying R, so we have an R code block within. And then we also have some embedded images, which are graphs generated by that R code. And this is all well and good to have this nicely formatted document within Emacs, but we have to have something we can share with other people, like a PDF. And org mode has amazing support for exporting PDFs in a great format. So this was the result of that document I just showed you. We have title up here, authors, the date, all the different headings, italic text, bullets, block of code, some images, in addition to some more complicated graphs showing relationships between various data points. And this was all done from within org mode without ever having to leave Emacs. I didn't have to open another program to generate the PDF based on the text. I didn't have to open my code editor to run the code. I did all of that from within Emacs. But going even further than all of that, this was just the document preparation point. Emacs also has some personal organization support in the form of to-do lists. Now I'll show you the rendered form before I show you what generated it. So go to my org agenda, and this shows right now it is 1:14 in the morning for me, after midnight. I'm in the US, and later today I have a Dungeons and Dragons session with a friend. And I have 3 overdue to-do items that need to be completed, that really need to be completed. Later this week, I have something on Tuesday. I also have something on Friday. And then down here, we see a lot of other to-do tasks that I have just gotten out of my mind and written down, and I will tackle them one by one throughout the day. And we can view the document that created that right here. So here again, we have headings, and every heading that is prefixed with this to-do keyword ends up showing up in that org agenda. And these can be spread across multiple files. Maybe you have one file for your events, one file for work, another file for your personal stuff, whatever. All of those are collected together, processed, and then shown in one unified view in that org agenda. And these have support for tags. You can do different colors. You can customize the org agenda, so it only shows, for example, tasks with a specific tag, tasks with a specific color, tasks only matching work keywords that might be related to something you're doing at your job, etc. It is infinitely customizable. Additionally, let me open up a different org file. Where was that? No. Go to recurring events. And here we will see, here we'll see some birthdays. A friend of mine has a birthday in, let me increase the font size so you can see it a bit more. A friend of mine has a birthday in January. So maybe I want to see that in a calendar view along with the rest of my events. So we can do org, open org calendar, and we see a proper calendar right here with the entire month, including events I have scheduled during the day, events I have scheduled in the future. For example, I start work at Walmart again on Monday, the 21st. We can see it. We can see a 2-week view. We can see a single week view. We can see a day view. Anything we like. And this is, cancel that, close the buffer. So this is org mode in a nutshell. There's so much more you can generate websites with it. It's absolutely insane. I've only covered the very top level basics. That's it.
Amolith, do you have some questions in the chat box?
All right, I will take a look at those. Org mode specifically, in response to Akash's question, org mode specifically has its own format using the asterisks for headers and things like that, but you can install similar packages that work with Markdown. However, I would recommend going with org mode's syntax because it has a bit more features than Markdown itself does. And yes, it does ish sync between devices. That's where it gets a little tricky. I am mainly at my desktop and I don't really switch between devices much. But there is a tool. Let me switch back to my desktop here. There's a tool called Orgsly, and it's an Android app. It doesn't support iOS. But you can sync your files over to your phone. Then Orgsly will look at them, interpret them, and I don't know if there are any screenshots on the website. But yes, there is mobile support. There are apps with mobile support. You can sync the files over to your phone. Orgsly will render them. Everything just works nicely.
Okay, great. So, how much time do you save if you had to use Word or if you had to use documents, Google Docs? So, how much time in total in one day you think you were saving?
I don't know, an hour, 2 hours. You can save a lot of time by keeping your hands on the keyboard and not having to do all the context switching of moving between this app for your managing your to-do lists, this app for your email, this app for writing your documents, have it all in one place saves a great deal of time. And additionally, this is offline, it's all local, there are no privacy concerns, it's all open source, and above all, it's free. You don't have to pay anything for any of the software.
Okay, and how many plugins have you installed in your Emacs?
I don't know. Not as much as Prabhanjan has.
Okay, so this is good. I think if you start using Emacs, then ultimately you end up using the plugins, and once you find the plugins, you do not go back to using those apps. Like I've stopped using most of the apps after I have shifted to Vim. So it is a good transformation for a developer, I think. So, Amolith, I would be concluding. If anybody has a question, he would have asked already, but none here has yet. So, I will be concluding the talk here, and then we are going to move to the conclusion session. And we have one more thing after the conclusion. So, just sit here. We reach there. So, coming to the conclusion, we're basically it's me and Akash bhai who were running this event, but we had other members also who were here. But there is electricity problem in Pakistan. It's not there at the person who was going to give the conclusion. So we are just going to close the event with saying that thank you so much for all the speakers who have attended, who have shown up for this talk, and I thank you all the attendees. And to make sure that the purpose of the meetup is met, the reason why we are conducting these events is to make sure that we stay in touch with each other. So to make sure that we also stay in touch and also manage to stay productive, I think the accountability has to be there. There has to be some kind of check on each other. So to make that sure, I have placed in this one section with the permission of Akash bhai, and he told me that yes, we can ask everybody here who are with us that they should be just coming up on the camera, or if they are not comfortable showing their faces due to some reason, they should give a brief introduction about themselves, what they are planning to do in the following month, and if you have any suggestions, you can just tell them to us. So I will be naming one by one. First is Akash bhai. Akash bhai, I want you to introduce yourself a little, and then we.
Yeah. So, hey guys, my name's Akash Joshi, and I work as a founding engineer at a startup. So, being a founding engineer, I handle everything from front end to back end, and even things in marketing when they come up. So, that's about it relating to my introduction. My next month's goal is to be more productive in my terminal. So as I took up more responsibilities, I had to write more and more code. And as I wrote more code, I realized the limitations of the tools that I was working in. So this is what I want to be doing next, and this is what the meetup was about: improving productivity. So that would be my next month's goal. And as far as suggestions, I wouldn't have any as I'm one of the hosts, but we would definitely like to take everyone else's suggestions, right? Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. So next is Akash Nainani. Now, Akash, I want you to give a quick introduction and what is your goal and what are your suggestions?
Yeah, I think everyone knows me now with my talk. My next month goals mainly. So I work mainly in backend, and I also do some full stack work in DevOps and some front end work at times.
Okay.
So I have an upcoming project in Angular. So I'm mainly into React. So I have started learning Angular. So my goal is to make at least 3 mini projects in the coming month to actually master the basic skills of building things using Angular. And well, I'm trying to generate some soft skills and some side hustles and all that. So we'll be working on those fronts. Suggestions? Nothing much.
Okay, I have some assignments as well. If you do not give suggestions, you will get an assignment.
Okay.
Okay, it's perfectly fine. Thank you so much, Akash, for attending. Next, we are going to move to Amolith. Amolith, I want a quick introduction about you, what you are planning to do in the following month, and what suggestions do you have for today's event? Okay, your mic is mute. We cannot hear you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great.
I think I gave a pretty general introduction in my short presentation.
Mhm.
My main role at the moment is as a student, but the semester is wrapping up, so I will be going back to doing more sysadmin stuff with Nix now. I think next month's goal is to work more with org mode in Emacs and do some of the org agenda stuff and work with Maggot that Prabhanjan mentioned earlier.
Okay,
As far as suggestions, I don't really think I have any. It was a good event.
okay. Have you attended any such event before? Like it is online plus interactive.
I have a few. I attended Emacs Conf over the weekend, as well as the Linux Club at my university. I'm the president of that, and we've done everything online the entire semester.
Great, amazing. My wife is attending her semester through Sweden. She is doing everything online. But this casual events, I do not have a reference point to meet, you can say, to improve my standard to that quality. But I do not have a reference point yet. So that's why I asked about it. So thank you so much, Amalith brother, for joining this event. I will be pinging you here and there for my events to try to join us. Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
okay, great. Thank you very much. So next we are having Asim. Sir, I would request you to switch on your camera if you can. If you cannot, then it's okay. Give a brief introduction about you, what you are trying to do in the following month, and what suggestions do you have? Okay, sir cannot listen to me. Then it is Darvesh. Darvesh, you just joined us. Can you hear me? We are having this conclusion mode where I have all the attendees. So he left, and then we are having Harun Bhai. Harun Bhai is the person who motivated me to learn to code, and because he motivated me, I have been learning to code for 4 years. And Harun Bhai, I would request you to give a brief introduction to everybody, what you are trying to do, and what are your suggestions.
Thank you. Thank you, Qasim. First of all, thank you to everyone. It is a great event and I really enjoy it. My name is Haroon and I am working here in Saudi Arabia from last 5 years. But as my career, I will start as a developer and now I am handling a big team here and working on the multiple projects. And I feel due to this year, especially due to this disease, COVID 19. IT is totally changed now. Our project, our nature of project, the things which we are forecasting that these things will come after 5 years in future, but now it is coming very fast, and every business is changing their way how to deal and how to engage the audience, and all pressure come on the IT in even COVID-19, we work double shift. We are working in double shift. We are working from home, but we are working so much, uh, and things are very fast now. And we need to match their speed. The requirement are coming, so we need to match our development speed with them. And we are using different types of tool to handle the teams, to handle each other, to monitor them their progress and delivery on the time. So things are changing now, and it's take some time to uh, catch up that speed, and we are still struggling with that. And these
Okay.
tools will help us. Yeah, definitely these tools and latest tools. It's helping us in that.
Okay, that's great. So,
Thank you.
Harun bhai, you are a professional developer. You are into in this field for so long. How do you think we should be conducting our events? We have been conducting them on monthly basis. Do you think we should give a gap in between them? How do you think that events should happen that we can get maximum benefit out of them?
Actually, events, you cannot define the dates. First you need to define the ideas. If anyone or any member have any good idea, he found any good tool, he can communicate with you and we can arrange
Okay,
that presentation, something like this. But
okay.
as I am telling you, 2 days, it's very, it's not now, it's not 9 to 5 jobs. This mode is changed now. So we are also means the we are also struggling how to calculate the productivity. Today topic is productivity, and my developers are complaining, sir, we are working 18 hours, 16 hours per day.
Hmm.
So we need to calculate how much actually they're productive, and we need to pay them extra for that. So these things also means maybe someone is claiming that he cannot work 8 hours and not giving the agreed time. But in our case, we giving the extra times, and we know that there is the extra time as per our plan. We know we are catching the more things. So how we can justify that and pay them extra? So currently, this situation is I am facing this situation,
Okay,
and about this we can
uh,
in future sessions will come. You can arrange that.
okay, great. So thank you, Harun bhai. I wish you best of luck in your journey, and I
Inshallah.
will
In
try to
future
keep in
also,
touch
I
with.
will
Okay, thank you
joining
so
you.
much. Okay, thank you so much, Harun bhai. Acha, next we have Muhaddis. Muhaddis, bhai, I will request you to switch on your camera if you can. Hello, Muhaddis.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
yeah. Hi everyone, how's it going? Qasim bhai, I'm sorry, I overslept and didn't notice your call again.
Okay, it's perfect. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, never mind. So, I think the major topic revolving is related to development. Am I right?
Hmm. No, we have completed the event. I think you joined late. So
Hmm.
right now we are going through that session where all the attendees have to give a brief introduction about themselves, what they are planning to do in the next 1 month, and how do they
Hmm.
should, what suggestions are there to have any kind of online event.
Hmm. I see. I
So,
see. Okay. So, I'm Hadis. I'm from KP in Pakistan, and I'm a security software engineer at a US-based company called Fortrita. So most of my work is totally remote basis, and apart from that, I do pen testing and bug bounty hunting a part time. So in that bug bounty hunting, I have helped companies like Google, Microsoft, and Sony to find critical security flaws in the application. So this is used to be my hobby, but now I'm more focused on my office related work. All right. And regarding your second question, how these events can be improved. So I think uh, these events should be more productive. Sorry, more interactive. Like we should have cross questioning between audience and a speaker, or maybe in the middle after 15 to 20 minutes we add some break or we add some fun element, something kind of entertainment, so that this will engage both speaker and audience. So I think hopefully this can improve. Maybe we can try this in future someday.
Okay, Muhaddis, I will be trying to keep it more interactive, maybe reduce the speakers, increase the audience, and have an interactive session here and there. Actual event is basically not more than 1 hour. You can see that we have crossed 1 hour,
Mhm.
and there were people who joined the event. We reached to 17, 18 people, and then now we are sitting only 10 people here. So to make sure that we
Hmm.
all the people manage to participate, and we all are able to share our progress. I think that's the goal. And if we have an event coming up and everybody knows on the platform that an event is coming, we have to prepare something, or we committed to doing something and we have done it. So that, I think, is how we are trying to meet the purpose. Uh, it is thank you so much for the suggestion. I will be thinking about it and getting back to you. Thank you, Madhusai.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay. And then next is Prabhanjan. Prabhanjan, bhai, I will request you to give a quick introduction. Next month goal.
Yes, yes, sure. So, hey everyone, thanks for having me today. Firstly, it was a fantastic event. Um, in the lockdown, at least it was, even on a Sunday, it was like something changed for me from my day-to-day life. So I really enjoyed it, and thanks both of you, Qasim bhai
Thank
and
you.
Akash, for organizing this event. So for the conclusion part, so for my introduction part of myself, Prabhanjan, I'm a JavaScript and Rust developer from India, Pune. And for my next month goal is exact opposite of Amolith. I have learned the developer toolings around Emacs for by now, but I need to know about org mode a lot more because it's so huge and it's so useful um, that it's really help to organize your day-to-day life. It can do like everything, not just organizing your to-dos and agendas. It can also the presentation that I made was in Google Sheets, but next time I want to make it in org mode if that's possible at all. So org mode is my next month's targets, next month's big target. For the suggestions, I don't really have any such. Like I said, it was a fantastic event, and looking forward for more such events.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhanjan bhai, for making the presentation, giving the talk. And thank you so much once again. Okay, now next we have Qasim. Qasim is, I am here. I have been arranging these events for past 12 months. And in the beginning, I tried to write some articles as well, but they did not work. I'm a front end, back end, both kind of engineer. I've been building an app, trying to make it work for a e-commerce store, and the deadline is coming up on 1st January. I have to finish it before that, so I'm working on that. This is my next month's goal, and the suggestions I cannot give. So next we have Zappy Musel. So Zappy is the last person who is with us. Zappy brother, can you hear us?
I think his mic won't be working. Sharjil just joined.
Okay, Shajil, are you there? Hello. Okay. So there can be some problem with the mic. Okay, so we are going to conclude our event here. I will be thanking all the people who gave the talks and have been with us today. So I would request you one by one say goodbye, bye bye, and leave the room. And me and Akash bhai will be the last people leaving the room today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for joining. See you later.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye.
Hi.
Thank you. I'll
Thank,
see everyone later.
thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Qasim.
Thank
Have a
thank
great day.
thank you,
We'll,
Madhusai.
we'll
Same here.
discuss something later.
Bye, Maharaj.
Okay. Thank you,
Bye.
bhai. Bye bye. And we have Shajil and Zappy. I think their mics are not working or there is something wrong with their computer. So बाय बाय आकाश भाई, ठीक है, फिर यहाँ पे क्लोज करते हैं. तो सुबह फिर इसको ना मैंने रिकॉर्ड कर लिया, मैं इसको अपलोड करने की कोशिश करता हूँ, तो फिर हम इसको सर्कुलेट करते हैं. ठीक है आकाश भाई?
हाँ. और नेक्स्ट मतलब एक्चुअली इस इवेंट के बारे में हमने लास्ट इवेंट के बाद डिस्कशन करने पे किया था ना, तो वैसे ही कुछ
हाँ
सोचते हैं अभी
हाँ,
नेक्स्ट इवेंट
नहीं नहीं,
किस पे रहेगा.
हाँ, इट्स गुड इट्स गुड. तो
एंड
हाँ,
इनको किक कर सकते हैं तो रिमेनिंग लोगों को एक बार.
okay, this is, I don't know who is this guy, and I'm going to lock the room and I'm going to stop the recording. Wait a second.